So Glenn is having issues,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you said 17.
No, 70, 70.
Yeah, exactly.
1 hour 10 minutes. It took that long to get it started.
That's a record I don't think anyone would want to beat.
As Flippers did say that his mother's birthday is tomorrow, so happy birthday to her, and he had to leave obviously, and I think he should be leaving. So for the 5th time and hopefully the final time, take it away.
Hold on. Yeah. So here we go. Fun anywhere, starting from pole, Archie behind. Let's see where this race goes in the next 40 minutes.
So everyone started smoothly, which is good.
No issues for anyone so far. Nice to see. And we go green for the 5th time.
On the 5th attempt, we finally go.
Yep, going on to the first corner. Oh, Fun Anywhere goes a bit wide. Archie could get a run off him if he gets a better line through the corner. Top 3 really close by.
RKV is slowing down. I think he is in his pole, but there's a collision up the field. I did see Flipper drifting around, but I think he has lost a few positions there. Did Flipper?
Yep.
He's now down to P7.
Side by side. Who's gonna break the latest? Oh, still going side by side. Left taking the maximum track liberties over there.
On the outside, that was a beautiful move from Pleb, and now he will showing the pace that he has.
There's another side-by-side battle going on from Archie and Shammi. Archie gets a penalty for cutting the corner slightly, but I don't think that would affect him too much right now because it's a long race. And meanwhile, Fun Anywhere has pulled off. He's already 1.4 seconds. Actually, the gap coming down slightly, the lead. And here we go. Mahib is trying to go for another move at Ancient Pleb. He breaks late on the inside, and has he got the move done? Nope. Ancient Pleb goes for the cutback. Side by side fighting again. Pleb once again on the outside. I don't think he's going to make it this time. Mahib also taking a very defensive line through there. There's another battle going on right behind them. RKV and Flipper. Now this is a 4-way battle for P5. So this is really a good start to the race.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair to Mahip, he's defending quite well, or rather he's racing quite well. He was overtaken by Pleb at the start.
On the inside. Oh, okay, everything needed tidy through there.
Almost
good
3 wides there.
For the straight. Who's gonna go for the big lunge down here?
I think Flipper might attempt a move here.
Oh, Flipper, no, he thought about it, but he decided he's gonna wait up.
Yeah, so this is a really close and interesting battle that we have here for P5.
Mahib goes wide and Pleb gets ahead on the inside. Still side by side right now. Mahib's on the inside, he goes fast on the inside. Oh, sorry, that was Ancient Pleb, my apologies.
And now he's on the attack from Flipper here.
Mahib defending quite nicely.
Yeah, I think the last lap where Pleb overtook Mahib on the outside, I think Mahib wouldn't let that happen for the second time in a row. So.
Oh, and there's a battle going on for the lead. Shami is right on the tail of Fun Anywhere. I think Fun Anywhere must have made a mistake somewhere to let Shami catch up to him so quickly.
Yeah, both are on the same tire compounds, and I think slipstream advantage and the.
Fun Anywhere going very defensive.
Yeah, he has to know that option. Tire wear wise, Renault is a bit on the better side there, but still side by side on the hairpin. That was a beautiful racing there. Yeah, that was a good move from Shami. But now he'll have to defend up until turn 1 here. Further back, the gap has gone a bit wide between Pleb, Mahib, Flipper and RKV. They were quite close at the start of the lap, but yeah, not so close anymore. So the battle for the lead is the closest battle that we have right now. So how much the...
Again getting slipstream from Shami.
Yeah, so we'll have to see the pace advantage that Beamer has over the Renault. I think straight line wise BMW should have that advantage, but Fun Anywhere got a better exit here. So he'll have to defend here. He's not defending it, letting the door open. And
I think that's a smart move. He knew that there's a long while to go, and Fun Anywhere
switch back.
Switch back. Nice move from there, but now he's again from on attack from Shami.
Right, so the longer the battle, yes, it's a beautiful racing between these two, giving each other enough space and respect. So the longer they battle here, the better it will be for Archie and Monk, who are right behind them and closing down the gap. Pleb
is catching quite quickly these guys.
RKV is down the inside of Mahip, and yeah, Mahip just lets him through, and no, he gets a better run off on the BMW, and now he's taking the position away from him for now. But
it's difficult to go side by side into that section.
Yes, Mahip goes deep.
Good option by RKV to back out and get a better line that allowed him to get past.
Pushed just a bit.
Still side by side. Mahip had to back out slightly there. Because RKV came onto the track.
This is just helping Flipper to pull away from them. Mahip has the inside here on the banked hairpin, but yeah.
And Shami's gotten through into the lead from Fun Anywhere, but those two battling have allowed Archie to catch up really quickly, and Monk as well.
Yeah, one thing to notice that
is battle for the lead.
It is right now. So one thing to notice here is Archie's doing pretty well here to keep Monk behind him and catch up to the leaders. Archie hasn't had a decent result yet in this league, so maybe tonight is a night where he can show his true pace. Or maybe this track and car combo suits him really well. And now you can see Fun Anywhere is on the inside and all side by side. Shami, and I think he will be able to break late and take the lead from Shami, but
Shami, he's still on his outside now on the inside for the next corner. They're still battling side by side, and I think Fun Anywhere will have to decide from.
He'll have the inside.
Yes.
Yeah, but now we should turn on to the outside here.
Constant side by side battling for the first entirety of the sector. Amazing. And now Archie and Pleb are really attacking the top two guys.
It's a four-way battle for P1, and Fun Anywhere has to go defensive here, but this is allowing a certain guy in P5 to join in the battle. Someone who is not alien to podiums and race victories. He'll be watching the battle from behind and yeah, feeling happy about it.
I think Pleb's strategy right now is just to conserve tires, not to push very hard, and because they're battling, someone might make a mistake or someone might get punted. So good strategy right now would be just preserving tires and waiting for the moment.
That's true, and there's a battle going on for P7 right now. Mahip and RKV are still at it. RKV is on the mediums, just to update you guys, compared to Mahip's soft. So we saw in Laguna Seca how Mahip was able to keep Skinny behind him on much worn used tires, and he's doing very similar here right now. So the longer he can keep RKV behind him, the better it will be for him as the race goes forward.
Yeah, and you can also see that Monk's tire wear compared to Fun Anywhere and Shami is a lot less, because they've been battling constantly for the past 3 laps. So that's going to play a big role in the long-term performance cars.
Yep, that's true. And while we were concentrating on the battle behind, Archie has fallen back and now is into the clutches of Ancient Pleb. So pretty soon
that's a scary position to be.
Yeah, it will turn into a defensive drive rather soon for Archie. So it's a good news for the top 3. They can at least try to pull away a gap from the charging pleb in P5 at the moment.
Fun Anywhere again, trying to get the cut back on Shami. Will he able to? Yes, he will. Shami will now have the outside line for the next corner. Fun Anywhere going for a... Will he go for a dive bomb here? He is already side by side. So just pushing him out to the outside of the track, and that's caused him to lose another place to Monk.
Yeah.
Monk is going to attack Fun Anywhere because he got a better run out of that corner.
Yeah, Monk will happily take that. Monk is someone we've seen in almost every race who starts from the back and manages to make... Oh, Shami goes really wide into the grass. And now he will be overtaken by Archie, and now from Pleb as well. So he's fallen down.
Pleb's going for Archie.
Shami was P1 and now he's down in P5, and Pleb is in P3. So pretty easy move. Almost, yes.
He just went too wide and allowed Archie to get a good cut back on him.
Yeah, I was watching in the Pleb's review.
Pleb to get really... that's allowed Pleb to get a big gap ahead of those two guys to catch up to the leaders.
Well, kudos to all of these guys. They have been managing to keep it real clean here, battling side by side. As this track is known, I mean, we called it at the start, it's a perfect track to have side by side racing, and you know, these drivers are showing exactly that. Pleb, who is in P3, he's exactly 1.2 seconds in the middle of P2 and P4. Once he catches up to these guys, as Shami's in the pits, we'll see if he goes for the attack or rather conserve his fuel. Speaking of fuel, Fun Anyway has used the most out of the top three. So
RKB is running quite low. I wonder what's the reason. Has he been really redlining it? RKB and Mahib both.
Maybe BMW is not the best for fuel saving, as Mahib goes into turn 1, misses the braking point, and now he's suffering from engine damage, so he literally limp to the pit lane all the way after doing an entire lap of the track. So that could be race done and over for him.
That is the worst place to get to go off the track.
At the race, the lap start, yeah, you're right. And a place where, you know, I have an experience at this game, getting hit from behind, or maybe at times through the fault of my own. But yeah, it's still painful. You just you have to limp all the way, and especially on a track which is as big as this. A normal lap is over 2 minutes long, so imagine with an engine damage and car damage, that will take easily around 2.5 minutes. But right, let's get back to the battle for P1. It's very much a three-way battle now. Fun Anyway is doing really well, keeping himself up into P1, but the fuel situation is not the best for him out of the top three, and because fuel and tires both, because he is pushing, he needs to stay in P1 as long as possible. And that's what resulting in
defending really well against Monk, but that's also allowing Pleb to catch up.
So I think whoever does the undercut strategy here should come out in front. We could see Pleb take the bait out of these three, because I mean, we know that he has a lot of pace compared to these guys, so maybe he can trigger an undercut on the top three and we could see him move into P1. Further back the field, there's a battle for P5 between Flipper and Shami, and Shami's in the pits again. So that's just literally, yeah, that's just an in-lap. So he didn't refuel on his last pit stop. Flipper is nursing some damage on his car. Pleb, Monk and Fun Anyway are still in the same positions here. So no idea why Shami pitted. Maybe he has his own strategy.
He might have gotten more damage there.
No, there was no damage on his car. I did see the damage condition, as Fun Anyway is defensive once again. Pleb is just sitting behind these two, hoping for both of them to take out each other, as Fun Anyway goes really deep into the corner, allowing Pleb to go down the inside, but he will be on the outside for the next turn. But it is now, and Pleb has smoothly moved up into P2. Smooth operator. That's what
You can really see
he's.
how fast and aggressive Pleb drives. He started all the way back in P8, if I'm not mistaken, and he's up in P2 after 50% of the race is left.
More,
So
I think more than being aggressive, it's believing in his pace that he has. I mean, it's no hidden secret. The pace advantage he has to almost everyone on the field here. So I think patience game is the strategy here for him. He knows people will be pitting, and maybe he can push on the out lap or the in lap, or when he's on the attack, he can make the other driver commit mistake, and that allows him to pull side by side, as we saw a bit earlier from Fun Anywhere. He went wide and Pleb took full advantage of it. Tire wear wise, Pleb has the advantage here. He's literally pushing Monk, as we can see here, telling him to get a move on.
yeah, you can notice actually Pleb's been sitting behind battles for a lot of this race. He hasn't really attacked anyone yet. Oh, and he breaks quite late. Goes a little deep. I think that was a mistake. But yeah, also he's been sitting behind a lot of battles, like just taking the slipstream and just saving fuel and tires and just taking it easy right now.
Yep, as RKV is in
And
the
that's really
pits.
worked out for him.
Yeah, that works out for him in every race. And yeah, I mean, if you have the pace and you know that you can gain positions without being too aggressive and can get you a result, I think that's the best strategy. Shami's again in the pits. That's his third pit stop for the race. And now he's out on the soft. So he literally did one lap on the mediums and the hards. So I think soft tires is what drivers are preferring here. We can see, I mean, these soft runners in the top
with
three.
a large amount of tire wear, it still would be faster, slightly faster, but still faster.
Maybe, let's see. I mean, that was Shami who did just one lap on the mediums and hards. What these three will do, we should wait and see once they have made their pit stop. Fastest lap is with Monk with a 2:05.0 compared to Pleb's 2:05.3. So maybe Pleb, as we are predicting, is just playing the patience game here.
And it's the best game to play over here because it's a long race. You've got to preserve everything, even including your skill itself. You don't have to push yourself. When you attack a lot, you just tend to get a bit frustrated when it doesn't work out. And Pleb's just been taking it easy and just looking for opportunities. So that's really helped him out here.
That's true. So let's just
He's doing good on fuel and tires as well.
yeah, I was saying, let's just concentrate on his rev limiter on the main straight. Is he short shifting, or he's going on the pit in the pits, and Pleb Monk follows him suit. So Fun Anywhere carries on.
Fun Anywhere. Yeah.
Fun Anywhere could lose a lot of time here, but he'll literally have to push with all his might. Archie takes P2. He made his pit stop. Flipper is in the pits himself. So fuel wise, you can see Pleb has the maximum fuel in his car with 19%. Flipper the least at 13. So he didn't fuel at all. Okay, so he is doing one stint on hards. So Flipper's on hards, didn't fuel at all. So he will get rid of these tires. We can say this is just an in-lap for the hard tire. Pleb is on the hard himself, but he did fuel almost all the way up to the brim. Monk, the entire tank, but on the racing medium. So advantage with Monk at the moment, but he's behind Pleb.
Fun Anywhere will have to pit this lap. He's running very low on fuel. I don't think he will be able to go on for another lap without pitting. And his tires are in a terrible condition right now. More than 50% of wear on the front left. So that car must be feeling terrible to drive right now.
Yeah, and for Fun Anyway's sake, let's just hope he doesn't run out of fuel before the pit stop.
Pleb and Monk both have come out into traffic, so I think that would also play in Fun Anywhere's hands.
Where is Fun Anywhere right now? So he is in the penultimate sector. Yeah, he will be pitting, that's for sure. Fuel situation is not the best. Archie is closing down on him. Monk is hasn't managed to overtake Pleb till now, so the longer, once again, longer Monk
So
stays
they
behind him.
switched in the pits. They switched in the pits.
Yes, they did because Pleb underfueled his car marginally compared to Monk. So on board with Fun Anywhere, he will be going into the pits as expected, but he was.
Monk is trying to get ahead of Pleb, and he has actually.
Oh, there's a bit of contact. Just a tap from Pleb behind, but no damage done there. And I think this is what Monk would have wanted, to use those mediums as much as possible.
Fun Anywhere comes out. The pits.
Fun Anywhere could lose a lot of time there. Okay, these two have passed out. Archie is out in. Oh, the Archie pit, and he has come out in P1. So, and he's on hard. So, Monk is once again stuck behind a hard compound runner. Fun Anywhere is on the mediums, and he's 5.5 seconds behind Pleb. So, strategy not working as well as he would have hoped, and we can see how much the undercut worked for Monk and Pleb there. Archie's down into P2, so that's brilliant for Monk. And now Monk will be hoping that Archie is able to hold up Pleb.
Archie is going very defensive on Pleb, and that's actually worked out in favor of Monk slightly. But Monk hasn't gotten away too far away yet. Archie is still on his tail, followed by Pleb. It's a huge slipstream train going on right now, so we can't really say anything.
Yeah, but we'll see Monk pulling away in these SS, courtesy better grip and in that hairpin as well. You can actually see Pleb's bonnet on Archie's POV, literally pushing him. Archie's going defensive as he rightly should. And yeah, you can see the gap increasing between Archie and Monk. So how Pleb will approach this, we have to wait and see. But let's not forget, our Pleb is on the hard compound, Monk is on the medium, so Pleb can take some comfort in the fact that he has the medium compound to use. And I mean, I don't think he knows that Monk is on the mediums unless he can judge by his pace, because there's no way the game let you know. So if Pleb realizes that Monk is on the mediums, he can take some comfort in that thought that he has to use hards and he has a mediums to use. So as we can see, Monk is glitching just a bit.
Maybe just a little bit of network lag.
Yeah, elsewhere on the track there's no battle at all, so battle for P1 is what's going on the track.
P2 actually.
P2 for now, yeah. For P2, battle for P2 is very much on. Pleb is trying everything to throw Archie offline. A strategy that, and he's sending it down the inside. He's not waiting any longer. Yeah, a bit aggressive, a bit unlike Pleb, at least as far as I've seen Pleb drive. But I think he had to make that move stick. So now we have to keep an eye out on the gap. It's 2 seconds between Monk and Pleb. Technically or logically, Monk should pull away that gap, which he is slightly. But he needs a bigger gap until the next pit stop phase come out for him to have any advantage over Pleb on his fresh mediums, which he could put on his next lap.
As we've been focusing ahead, Shami is just slowed down to service penalty, and that's allowed Flipper to pass him. Flipper's on the mediums, and Shami is on the softs.
Softs, so and with a damage.
Will have to pit again.
Yeah, he will be pitting again. It's good to see Flipper staying around here, even though his mother's birthday is today. Now it's after midnight, so. Once again, birthday wishes to his mom, and yeah, well, cheers for staying back. Hopefully, your mom isn't too mad at you for playing video game while it's her birthday. Right, moving up to the battle for the lead. The gap has increased by 4/10 the last time we were on these guys. If that enough, as yeah, Pleb is now in the pitch, so he has had enough of those hards. Could see him on the mediums now. Fun anyway takes P3 away
Pleb
from
will be
him.
on push mode right now.
Yeah, he will be. And to make things better for Pleb, Fun anyway and Monk have to pit in for hards. Pleb is out on the mediums, so no refueling done there, so not a lot of time lost. So 6.5 seconds behind Fun anyway. Shami is in the pits once again. That's what, 5th pit stop for Shami? He has had a...
Monk has to pit again. He hasn't used his hards yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Pleb's still in the game.
So as of now, we do know that Pleb has used all his 3 mandatory tire compounds. Not really sure about Shami, considering the amount of pit stop he's made. But I think he must have used all compounds, but we'll check that afterwards. As of now...
Yeah,
he did, alright. So as of now, we can see Fun anyways closing down the gap on Archie here. And Ancient Pleb is slowly but steadily, yeah, closing down the gap. It's 5.9 and coming down steadily. So battle for P2 is what we'll have pretty soon. And as
is now in the supreme range of Archie.
Oh, look at him brake! The time he gained in the no, but that's mainly because of the tire advantage that Fun anyway has. He can brake so much later than the Archie on hards. And that's what we were discussing before the race started. The disadvantage drivers are when they are on the hard compound is a lot bigger than racing mediums or the racing softs. That's why people or drivers don't prefer staying out on these tires. So maybe Archie can think about pitting in and get rid of these hards. It's not serving him well.
So as of now, the difference between Pleb and Monk is 11 seconds. And when Monk pits, he will be behind Pleb unless Pleb makes a huge mistake. And he'll be on the hards. So I think this has played out in Pleb's hand over here.
Oh, it's at the moment it is definitely in Pleb's hand, and unless Plebs make a massive mistake and goes into the wall or into the back of someone. You know, he's on the mediums. He's done with his tire compound. He's, like you said, almost 11 seconds behind Monk currently. So Monk will have to pit and he will have to refuel for hards, unless he does a literally one out lap on hards and then moves on to the soft. And I think that's what Monk will try to do here. Do an outlap on hards, because the time remaining, if you can see, we just have over 13 minutes. So you know, time flies when you're having a good race to witness. So with the time running out, I think what Monk should or could do, just pit in for a set of hards and you know, do the rest of the race on the softs. But his fuel situation, yeah, but his fuel situation is pretty decent. More than half a tank of fuel still with him. Mediums don't look too bad either, so maybe he's thinking of stretching this 2 minutes per lap, so that should give us maximum 6 laps of race, or maybe 7 at stretch. So maybe he's thinking about stretching these mediums and just 1 lap on hard. So interesting race ahead to witness from Monk.
And as we've been concentrating ahead, Mahib has just gone past Skinny. Oh, and Skinny's gone around.
Skinny has lost.
He's been having quite a bit of grip issues. I think there's some damage to his car. He's been having quite a lot of oversteer that's allowed Mahib to catch up and overtake him.
Yeah,
a huge gap right now.
Maybe Alpha indeed is in the best car for this track, as he mentioned in the chat before the start of the race. Flipper meanwhile has closed down on the Archie. Archie is on the medium. So yeah, he did pit, I forgot. In the last lap, he's on the fresh mediums. So maybe Archie is listening to us speaking and taking our inputs. Maybe. Well done to him.
You gotta do everything to get the best result.
Yep, so Archie hopefully will pull away from Flipper, but Flipper, as we know, won't make it easy for him to go into the distance. He'll keep him within his radar all the time. Yeah,
being able to break really 8.
Ah, Archie went really deep into that corner, and yeah, he's right into the clutches of Flipper now. One thing I just noticed is top 5 are in the same car, so maybe Renault is the car of choice for Maggiore.
You can actually see like the levels of cars. Top being Renault, then BMW, then the Subaru, and yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's true. RKB in P6 and 7, BMW. Subaru in. Oh, yeah, so Skinny has decided to call it quits. Unfortunately, he has had enough of the race. Right, so just while no real battles are going on track, how are you on this track?
Oh, I'm not the best at this track. It's really fun to drive, but it is actually a bit hard because there's a lot of flowing corners, and you have to get your line exactly correct to get good lap time. And so that's what these guys have been doing really great, and just pushing every single lap and getting.
Oh, he goes for the move, Flipper from further back. That was sorry to cut you off, but that was quite a move from Flipper. I did not hope.
Anything for a move like that.
I did not expect Flipper to send it, but he just sent it literally. RKB has closed on, but yeah, his tire wear is pretty bad right now.
Pleb's actually starting to catch up to Fun Anywhere quite a bit. The gap was about 4 seconds 2 laps ago, and he just closed up 7/10. He's at 3.3. So Pleb really pushing it right now in the final stages of the race.
So it's interesting, you see, Monk, as we are hoping he will do just an outlap on the hards at the end of the race. Pleb can go all the way to the end here. His fuel situation is not bad at all. Tire wear is perfect. So maybe we could witness another Pleb victory, or maybe Monk can put up a surprise here.
And further back, Archie and Flipper are still battling. Archie's just trying to get past Flipper by taking wider lines, getting better exits, but Flipper's been just parking it on the apex. Good defending by Flipper.
Yeah, tire wear advantage is with Archie right now. So you think will Archie return the favor by lunging it in the same corner?
I think he will. I'm hoping for it.
We're hoping, yeah, we all hope, as long as it's clean. So kudos to Archie for keeping an eye out and moving away from a lunging Flipper. Wouldn't look smart if the contact was made between those two. I mean, we are praising Flipper right now, but imagine if there was a collision. Could have called that move was silly.
To the ninth corner. I don't think Archie is close enough to make that huge lunge.
He's already defending. Flipper's already defending. Yeah, the door is open now. Send it. Allah, he decides against it.
To stay back.
Good man.
But he's got to start catching up to Flipper. It isn't long before the race ends, and he can't just stop. He can't just like sit behind Flipper for all this time. He has to make a move, and he has to make a move soon.
Do you recall Fun Anywhere going on hards?
No, actually.
No. Okay, so maybe Pleb is in the net P1 then. I don't remember Fun Anywhere, so maybe he has used hards. But as what my memory serves me, which is in the best, Fun Anywhere, Monk definitely has to pit. Fun Anywhere hasn't used hards as well. So yeah, I mean the gap is now 9 seconds between Pleb and Monk, so closed down by 2 seconds, over 2 seconds now. So yeah, definitely advantages with Pleb here. So this is the net P1 where Pleb is, unless of course Fun Anyway has made his mandatory pit stop on the hards. Look at the gap now.
It's interesting to see when Monk will actually pit, because the longer he's on these tires, it's actually costing him more time. So if I were in his position, I'd be pitting as soon as I could.
I mean, if Fun Anyway pits now, he will come out in P3. Flipper is over 21 seconds behind Pleb. So I don't think Fun Anyway will lose anything more than a position here. P1 is out of reach for him. Oh, he's gonna send it. He's indicating Fun Anyway. so he's letting the door open. So fair warning. Well before the
He's
corner
smart
came
about
up.
this. He doesn't want to lose too much time as well. Of course, Flipper is quite far back, but there's always a risk, spinning out.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty smart move, letting the driver know that the door is open to send it. Something that we did not see from Flipper. A couple of laps back, just send it without warning. But yeah, I think we can see now.
Archie has been able to catch up to Flipper right now. He could go for a move in the next corner.
He goes wide, the Flipper, and now he'll have a better exit of this corner. We can see he's in the grass, hits the wall, makes tiny collision, and he's in the grass. And yeah, that's time loss for Flipper. Massive time loss.
That's the race for
Don't go into the wall, and this damage. This could work out in favor of RKV here. He will understeer or oversteer depending on left or right corners. Will Flipper, and maybe RKV can pull out P5 out of nowhere from this track.
RKV is on the softs as well, so he can, if he pushes it really hard, he can actually gain quite a bit of time.
On a fresher soft as well. So 8.5 seconds.
The gap between P1 and P2 is currently staying the same, but we know that Monk has to pit again for Hearts because it's mandatory to use all 3 tire compounds in this race, and Pleb has actually used all 3, so he's in for a race win. Like 99% sure he's in for a race win unless he bottles it, but I'm sure he won't.
Yeah, but I think watching Pleb's name in P2, Monk could feel some pressure here, and the gap has increased to 8.8 now, so Pleb could have made some error there. But yeah, as I was saying, so Monk could feel slight pressure there, and he could be pushing a bit harder. And you can see fuel, he has to pit this lap, so we will be seeing Monk pitting in this lap.
And even Fun Anywhere will be finishing P2 when Monk takes pit because he's right behind Pleb as well.
But is that fuel enough for 2 laps? It looks very touch and go here. But I don't think Fun Anywhere will be in P2 because Monk has to refuel for 2 laps, so he won't go all the way to the top regarding his fuel. Just slap on hard compounds, dash of fuel, and
coming in this lap.
Yeah, the gap is increasing between Monk and Pleb, so Monk was definitely pushing there.
So Pleb will get past Monk. Let's see where Fun Anywhere comes out.
Easily. Fun Anyways in the pits as expected, so I don't think he had enough fuel to last the race distance. Monk, we did see Monk. There's Monk, but he is on the hards.
In a quite a good position. If he really pushes it, he could go for the lead, but
I don't think he has time. No, I don't think he has time or the tire compound to do that. Fun Anyways on the hards, so yeah, as expected, he had hard compound tires to use. So Fun Anywhere actually didn't lose any position. He was P3 and he is P3. Archie has closed on the gap. Oh yeah, definitely. The gap between Flipper and RKV hasn't closed down as dramatically as we were hoping. 5 seconds is a pretty decent gap with 2 laps to go in the race.
And Pleb's making a few mistakes. That's allowed Monk to catch up really. He's under a second, so we could be seeing Monk going for the lead.
Monk will be pushing, but I think the tire disadvantage that he is at right now, Pleb won't sweat it out too much here. Especially the final sector, there are a lot of turns, and that's where Monk could possibly lose out sometime to Pleb, and yeah, we could see that in few corners time, and starting from these S's here. 9/10 is the gap, and we could see the gap of over a second by the time the main stage starts. But let's for our sake, let's hope the gap keeps coming down. Fuel situation here, I just noticed on Pleb, it doesn't look very encouraging from his point of view.
But he's been on this stint for much longer, so that plays a role.
He's fuel saving, he's short shifting his Pleb. I just noticed. He is fuel saving. Oh, as Monk just lagged.
Monk is glitching out.
Yeah, Monk just glitched on my screen as well. So yeah, you can see by his by the way his speed is increasing, he is on a lower fuel setting, and he is short shifting as well. So this could go down the wire. This is the final lap, remember. The lap is worth 2 minutes, and with just a minute to go, this is the final lap of the race.
I don't think Monk will be able to make it this time.
The lights are flashing for Pleb. Pleb is under. Pleb will be under serious pressure right now. He'll have to defend
really
now.
Short-shifting now.
Yes.
This is exciting.
Yeah, and I think he's not even in the highest fuel setting, because his speed increase is not as much as Monk's.
But Clem does have quite a bit of gap. 1 second is also quite.
Oh yeah, the gap has opened up by 1 second. Yeah, so this is good news for Pleb. But his fuel situation, his fuel light is flashing. No problem as such on Monk's car. Alright, so this is the moment you can see the gap is closing down rather rapidly here. Under 8 tenths now. 7.5 tenths. It will be 7 tenths. 6.5 tenths.
Like Clipper.
Do it!
The final lap of
this is where Pleb has to save all his fuel. I think the slight under fuel which Pleb did in his first stint, I think that's that could hurt him maybe. Few more corners to go. The gap is 6.5 tenths, so I think overtaking opportunities are getting over for Monk here.
It's really low on fuel right now. Monk's really catching up very quickly.
He is pushing, but I think he's pushing too hard here, and I think Pleb will be alright. Field situation is just marginal here from Pleb.
Yep, Pleb will
goes deep, and he tried. He's weaving, and what a race here from Pleb.
He knows how close it was.
That was a brilliant end to this race between Pleb and Monk, but Pleb the eventual winner once again. But yeah, this was a race that we all enjoy, and fun anyway weaves around to take the final step on the podium, further back down the field. For once, the guys at the top got all the camera attention tonight. Archie finishes up in P4. I think this is the best finish for him in the league in all the seasons that we've had. Flipper holds on to P5. RKB did close on the gap.
Yep.
So, but not enough, and RKB...
Maybe a few more laps and RKB could have gone for Flipper.
Maybe, and Shami, disappointed race for him, but he's still happy weaving around in P7. And I think that's everyone over.
He like 5 times.
Yeah, I think 5 times in the initial few minutes, but yeah, could be many reasons.
Once again in the later stages of the race.
Right, so here we are, victorious once again is Ancient Pleb, a name that we don't we are used to see at the top.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that Pleb takes driver of the day by a huge margin.
Let's see. I mean, the race was quite close, but yeah, that was quite an impressive drive towards the end. Let's just quickly run down the finishing order. Pleb finishing off in P1, followed up by Monk and Fun Anywhere. Outside the podium were Archie, Flipper, RKB, Shami and Mahip, and Skinny being the only DNF. Fastest lap went to Shami with a 2:04.7. So this has been it, and thank you once again to Aditya here, PX, TX, AX, every other XK for joining in. It was fun. Yeah. Good to have a co-commentator for once.
Really fun for me as well.
Yeah, I hope you had good race after that initial frustration.
Except the start could have been a bit better, but a really exciting race when it came to it.
Yeah, that's what I said. After initial frustration, it was a race that was needed. So, yeah, good race once again. So yeah, this was round 5 of Proximity GT Sport Racing League in the Maggiore GR4. And where are we next week? Any idea?
Next week, I think it's Saint Croix.
Yeah, no, next week we are in Interlagos, so
Oh,
quite a
Interlagos.
popular track in this
I
game.
think
And
that race would be even more interesting than this one. This
yes,
was
and
very interesting.
we will be in group 3 cars, so quite an interesting combination there. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week, next Sunday at same time, hopefully with fewer glitches. And this is Caesar signing off, along with Aditya here. And until
BX
then,
signing off.
yep, and until next week, it's good night.